Often in sketches, drawings, shadows are used to try and make things look a bit more three-dimensional. So I'm going to show you how to put shadows on, but I'll also say before you start that putting shadows on is not an easy thing to do. So the first thing I need to do is I need to make a copy of his face. I'm going to use Control C and V to make my first copy. I'm then going to copy that again, Control C and V to make a second copy. And then going to use Control V to make a third copy. So I've now got 3 copies of the shape of the face. Okay. First one down here, this is just going to give me my dark line back later on. So for now, I need to now line these 2 up to try and make my shadow. And the way you line them up is imagining where the sun's coming from. So the sun is up in the sky, so it's above the giraffe's head and over on the left. So I lift this copy of the face up and to the left, and I think that looks like a nice shape. So this section here is the bit I want to be my shadow. Okay, so and what I want to do now is use the shape builder tool in a different way, because last time I used the shape builder tool to join shapes together. This time I'm going to use the shape builder tool to take pieces of a shape away. So instead of clicking on the line and dragging them through and making them all into one shape, which I don't want to do, I'm going to use Alt key on the keyboard, hold down Alt, and it'll allow me to delete these 2 sections. And that leaves me with this piece here, which I can now put back onto the giraffe's head. Okay, which makes him look like he's got a toothache and somebody's put a yellow bandage on his face. So we now need to start working on making that look more like a shadow. First thing I'm going to do with that is I'm going to remove the line. So up here are the 2 tools, which are the colour and the line. So I'm going to take the line away. The red stripe across means no colour. Well, that hasn't helped me, because now I can't see the shadow at all. So I need to make the shadow a darker colour. Well, to play with the colours, I'm going to click onto the colour palette here. What you'll need to do is change it to RGB, and you'll need to change it to show options. So you want to show options RGB. Now I want to make my yellow a bit darker. I can slide those down. I think about 200, and I think that looks quite nice and quite okay for my shadow. Okay, I might want to go a little bit darker. I might, for instance, go down to 170. Okay, and I might decide, whoops, I need to have it selected before I can do that, of course, otherwise it doesn't know what I'm talking about. So about 176, about 170, something like that. So I can try a darker shadow if I think a darker shadow is okay, but I'm quite happy with the 200 and the 200. Okay, now I've now got a problem, because it still looks like he's wearing some sort of bandage, because the nostrils are behind. I've got 2 choices here. I can either bring the nostrils to the front or push the shadow backwards. I think looking at that, it's easier to bring the nostrils to the front. So I'm going to zoom in so I can actually pick up the nostrils. So 1, and the shift key should allow me to pick up the second one. And if I can't, because it's slightly hidden back there, I can zoom in more so I can really see it very, very well. So now I can pick that nostril up. No. So at this point, I give up. I'm actually now going to say, well, I can't do that. The nostril is so well hidden behind this face. I'm actually going to have to put this one to the back. And I do that by right mouse clicking and arrange and send backwards, which I can either just do over and over again until I get to the right place, or use Control and the rightward pointing square bracket. So I'm going to do that. So Control and the rightward pointing square bracket, and I need to tell it what I'm moving to the back, which is that shape. So Control, rightward pointing square bracket, until, and I keep going until my nostrils reappear. And there we go. Now something seems to have happened around the neck, and that's right, that's because half of the line is now being hidden by the shadow. So he's now got a funny looking neck, and that's because the shadow is covering half of the line that makes up his head. Where we come to the other copy of the outside, I take the colour away, so I've just got a line, and I can now move that into place, and that should now have put the line back. So I've now got a line on top of a shadow on top of the original face with the nostrils brought forward. As I said, it's not easy and it's not straightforward putting shadows on, so I would think hard before you decide you want to do it, because it's, I say, it's not an easy thing to do, but you can manage it. And then often here it's playing with the colour. I think that looks a little bit dark, and I can play with the colour later on. I may also find, because I put this line in place, I now also need to bring that ear forward again so it sits in front of that line. So you may find that once you put something in place, you do need to play with things a little bit more to get everything back how you wanted it to be. Okay.